The mechanisms of aging are what I refer to, also synonymous with hallmarks of aging. So that paper that I mentioned, back then, this was a decade ago, they had recognized or discovered 9 different mechanisms of aging. And now that number has increased. As of last year, those original authors increased it to 12. The mechanisms of aging are the root cause biological reasons why we age. This is what's happening microscopically within our bodies, within our cells, as we get older. Some of this you're probably familiar with. For example, stem cell rejuvenation. As you get older, you have fewer stem cells, and these are the cells that make replicas of our cells. You have fewer, and then the ones you do have make imperfect replicas. That's one of the 12. Another one you might know of is mitochondrial dysfunction. So these are the power plants of our cells. They take the food we eat and convert them into energy. You might remember the Krebs cycle from high school biology. It's happening within the mitochondria, but you have fewer of those, and they're less capable of producing energy. And so if this cell doesn't have adequate energy, it doesn't function properly, and by extension, the tissue and the organ. But then there are less commonly known mechanisms of aging, things like cellular senescence. These are zombie cells, as people like to call them, that accumulate in our bodies, and they release inflammatory molecules that then lead to nearby cells becoming damaged and potentially senescent as well. So it goes up exponentially, and it's one of the reasons our skin wrinkles, and there's an attempt to delete or remove these cells with substances known as senolytics. That's just 3 of them. Most of the other ones are not really that well known either, but my vision was to address all of the mechanisms simultaneously, because when I got into the field about 6 or 7 years ago, and I was networking with scientists in the field, it was immediately apparent that everything they were working on was either very advanced biotech, where they are inventing a brand new molecule, the pharmaceutical approach essentially, or it was academia, where they're just focused on a specific mechanism. So overall, nobody was able to address all of the hallmarks at once, because aging is not considered a disease by the FDA or EFSA, and therefore you won't get insurance reimbursements and so on for the products. But my approach was to use natural molecules that have been found to have a positive effect on these mechanisms, and create a synergistic formula that's able to address all 12 of these at the same time,